Is this Trade Tech a UK working? I hope so. Let us find out. Your channel live. Let me mute this. Yo, what's up? Are we here? Are we live? What's good? What's up, guys? What's up, Kong? OMC? What's up, JP? How's it going? How are we doing? Hey, is the volume coming in good? Can you hear me okay? I'm trying to boot up my other laptop here. I did not want to be late, so I don't know. I need to check the sound. Give me a second here. The volume coming in good? Yep. Okay, cool. So it's coming in good. We're coming in clean. All right, guys. Well, let me just give me 1 second while I get it set up here. I'm like 2 minutes early here. I just want to get my other laptop pulled up so I can check the chat as we're going. Yes, it was my birthday on Wednesday. I've been dealing with some physical pain and mental blocks, and I've had a rough couple days personally, and I just needed to I just needed to just kind of check out for a couple days and take care of my body and myself. So I spent my birthday in bed. I wasn't feeling good, but I'm feeling better now. Sorry, I kept pushing the chat back, guys, but mental health and is really important, and mine was lacking there. So let me try to log onto my other laptop here, and we can kind of get going here. I can get this cracking. Wanted to just kind of go over, there's so much news going on. I've got a bunch of tiles up here, but I'm probably not going to go through all of this. Some of this I want to make into some videos, but there is this pretty cool 7-minute, this 801 XRP put this video out about Brad Garlinghouse. I don't know if this is live. It's September 12th, 2023. So just the day before my birthday. I'm gonna just play a little bit, just a little taste of this for you, and I'll leave it here for you. I do want to make a full video on this and talk why I give context over this, but let me try to get my other laptop going while I play this. 1 second.
He's really just doubling down yet again on his reluctance perhaps to engage with the crypto community. We know that he's very bearish on the asset class in general. How do you deal with that when you're getting the same sort of response all the time from the SEC?
Look, I'll just start by saying I think it's super frustrating. You see markets like we have here in Singapore, certainly even what we're seeing in Hong Kong, UK, Dubai, where the governments are partnering with the industry, and you're seeing leadership, you're providing clear rules, and you're seeing growth. And frankly, that's why Ripple is hiring there. 80% of our hiring is shown outside the United States. My thoughts, I haven't watched the testimony from yesterday yet. I've read some of the coverage. And I guess my observation is one of the definitions of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and thinking you're going to get a different outcome. Gary Gensler is a hammer and everything looks like a nail. Just saying people need to register does not mean that what the law says is that these are securities. In fact, what we now have seen, at least in the Ripple case, is the judge in our case very clearly, succinctly said XRP is not a security, period.
I want to pick up on that because, for people that aren't aware, so your native token XRP, the SEC had said that it was going against the securities law. The US court ruled in your favor. The SEC has now indicated that it could end up appealing that decision. So what was your reaction when that news came through?
Well, on one hand, it's frustrating. You have a government that has unlimited resources to keep fighting a fight they've already lost, but there's no recourse. And so, for Ripple, we've obviously spent well over $100 million already defending this case, and we are very optimistic. The judge has already said.
Well, guys, Gary Gensler really is kind of just. He keeps failing forward, right? And the SEC doesn't really have too many wins under their belts. They have settlements under their belts, but as far as going to court and actually like proving something, obviously, when they go with FTX, Sam Bankman and Binance, I think they're going to find a lot of issues, and I think Binance will be one of the biggest settlements you're ever going to see out of any type of exchange, just to kind of get out of it. But Gary Gensler's out here. He did sit in front of Congress, and a couple of these Congress people did kind of try to go at him for some different things, but really nothing's really changed. Let me just play a little bit of kind of what was said, and then we'll kind of move past it.
Concerns with truly unprecedented rulemaking agenda he pursued since taking over the SEC. I remember when I ran for Congress the first time back in 2012. We talk about the rising power of the fourth branch of government. The executive branches now that I believe, if our founding fathers saw what's going on, would say there's way too much power and rulemaking by fiat going on there, and really lawmaking. Whether it be your crusade against digital assets or your attempts to use the SEC to further the administration's climate agenda at the expense of taxpayers, there appears to be hardly a sector of the U.S. economy that you view as out of reach of your rulemaking authority. In the nearly 28 months you've been in office, the SEC has proposed or finalized 47 substantive rulemakings. Of these rulemakings, more than 80% were not required by congressional statute. This means that the vast majority of the agency's rulemaking agenda has been voluntarily undertaken. Chairman Gensler, you are not an elected official that's beholden to your constituents. You are an unelected bureaucrat who has taken it upon himself to reshape American financial markets to your liking, to the detriment of innovation, of investors, and small businesses. One such rule that's facing broad opposition from across the ideological spectrum, left and right, is the agency's swing pricing proposals. I've heard many concerns that the SEC's swing pricing is both unworkable and extremely harmful for Montana seniors and individual investors. A hard close.
So you don't really see the rest of this, guys, and I know a lot of you guys aren't from America or live in America, but Gary Gensler is the one regulator we have in this country that is really holding back the crypto industry as a whole. For some reason, I can't get my other laptop on my Wi-Fi network. I don't know what's going on, so I'm trying to load it on my phone, and it is slow. So just give me 1 second. I want to pull up your chat so I can kind of read along with you guys while you're kind of going through some information. Usually I have two laptops pulled up side by side, and I can kind of I can respond to you. So let me get that pulled up here 1 second. My friends, China was kind of cool. If anyone was asking, so just give me 1 second. Oh, I got it pulled up. All right, cool. I got your chat now. All right. Oh, thank you for the birthday love, guys. Let me just say what's up, Wu Feng Gong. Nice to see you, Ariana. Nice to see you. DC, what's up, man? How's it going? Neek, what's up? I know it's probably late where you are, man. Good to see you. What's up, Mark? DC, good to see you. MMT, always a pleasure, man. Honestly, always a pleasure. JP, Mohammed, nice to see you, bud. Green Llama, great to see you, brother. Steve Chow, good to see you. All right, cool, man. We're in the mix. We got everything going. So, yeah, China was really cool. It was exhausting. I met with a lot of really interesting people. I played for Kryptonaires members. I kind of played some kind of behind the scenes stuff about what happened in some of these meetings and the Phoenix X1 phone and basically what's happening with all of that. There is also a private video for super subscribers on YouTube, a little bit of information about that as well. I can't go into I can't release stuff publicly yet until I get the okay from Brian. So give me a couple more days before I can release like a total video of like all the factory tours and kind of all the behind the scenes stuff that I did. It was really fun. It was a lot of fun. But there's a lot of things that I'm worried about that are going on with the economy right now, guys. Especially here in the U.S. The Eurozone is just announced that they've entered into a recession. I do think the U.S. is not far behind. I do think China is actually already in a recession, but those numbers are always a little bit fudged. When you have 70% of your net wealth in real estate, and now the second biggest real estate developer is probably going to go bankrupt, and a lot of younger jobs were in construction, that is a problem for your entire economy. So, around the world right now, guys, you're not seeing a huge boom or pop in the crypto market, is because a lot of people are either out of work or don't have a lot of extra money to be putting into the crypto market just yet. We're still waiting for institutions, guys. And those institutions are waiting for what is called regulation. So unfortunately, we are all on timelines that we would love to be rich tomorrow, but that is just not the case in reality, in real life. We do need a thing called regulation, and we do need Basel framework for banks. Banks can custody crypto right now, but they cannot hold crypto on their balance sheets. And of course, it's going to need to be certain cryptos, they're going to be able to hold and stuff like that. And so that still is going to take place here probably in 2025. It's going to take some time. But Stellar's kind of moving forward. This is Idris Elba with a Stellar commercial. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I just wanted to kind of show you. This is kind of fun.
Do you know why I like to sometimes play the anti-hero? Because I know how it feels to make something from nothing in a world where the rules feel so skewed. A world.
Fix the volume. Yes, we did. I had some help with JP and some other people help me. Zelf, good to see you, brother.
Where we are not all on the same playing field, regardless of how hard we try on our own.
All right. I mean, if you kind of fast forward to the end, it talks about sending money, talks about Stellar, and Stellar's out here, you know, trying to grow the world. So, you know, XLM definitely is a force to be reckoned with. I think the position. Why is there an echo? Is there an echo for you, MMT? Is good, but there seems to be an echo for me. Just me? Nope. I guess there's an echo. Okay, hold on one second. Hold on. Oh, there shouldn't be an echo. Let me go back to this and see. Is there still an echo? Sensei, probably by muting your mic when watching a video. Oh, I got you. Okay, I can do that. Is the audio still good? What's up, Terry? Good to see you, man. Is the audio still good, or are you guys? Is it messed up? They messed it up. I don't want to hit play on this thing because it's gonna what's it called? Okay, let me mute this. New report says savings are at all-time high. Yeah, I don't think that report's probably accurate, bro. I wanted to also too just token metrics, guys. They still have a free account, and I do have the premium service here, so I do like to take a look at this with kind of what they're looking at as far as they have just a lot of information here too. They have a free account right now. Usually it's $20 a month. If you guys want to take a look down in the description, you guys can sign up. The videos are echoing, nothing else. Okay, so that's good to know. So there's an issue with the videos. It was probably through the microphone. I'll have to see about disconnecting as I play the videos. So I didn't have that issue before, but it's good to have issues now that I get back. But I'll try to get that fixed. Let me do what I can here, guys. Give me 1 second here. Anyways, let me. But you can hear. MMT sounds like your Dolby 5.1. Your audio is still good. Okay, cool. All right, thanks, guys. So you can see a lot of their trading signals here for a lot of these top on their ratings are bearish. You know, the market is bearish. You have all of this FTX. You have like 3.6 billion worth of assets that could be sold over the next several months. I'd be careful right now in the market, guys. I'd be very careful. I do think there's going to be some bumpy days ahead. I don't think we're even close to a bull market yet. I think it's still some time away. So just be careful out here. When you are trying to trade and use information, you obviously want to be able to have some of the best information here. And when I look at, when I looked at this a couple weeks ago, this was all kind of green. Now this is all very red, trading signals, very bearish. So, it doesn't matter how many pages you kind of go down here. I kind of look at market cap, 24-hour volume, and kind of what's being traded. But the trend here, especially for Bitcoin, is bearish. It's in the clips. All right, cool. Word. All right, but I always think these are pretty cool. It has like the buys and sells. They use some AI tools in here too. You can kind of ask it. You can ask Tokenmetrics kind of what you should buy and what you should do. It is a really cool system. It's kind of like your coin market cap on crack. You have kind of all the information that you need or ever going to need at your fingertips. So it's a fun platform, guys. If you want some more information, please check down in the description and take a look. All right, let's keep it going. Let's keep talking about what's going on here. I wanted to show you you know, a lot of people forget kind of, you know, these registration management group member lists, right? The RMG has 43 delegations following member entities, right? This is Swift, ISO, but Swift is actually one of the partners here, down here, Swift, Visa. You also have Ripple Pay here, of course, and you have MasterCard. Mojaloop, right? Nacha is a U.S. payments system. $72 trillion a year is cleared through Nacha. You know, here's the ISDA. European Central Bank, right? These are old documents. This is just something that I'm kind of putting together for a video for the channel. I just thought, you know, they're fun to look at, right? When you look at these member lists and you see these just huge entities, and then you just see the one crypto company that you're just really the most passionate about. I think it's fun. You know, JP Morgan's on here too, of course. All right, let's keep it going. There's a lot of, you know, market updates. November is going to be an interesting time, right? Because we're getting rid of category 1, 2, and I think 9 messaging as we kind of get into this November 2023 to November 2025. It's going to be interesting to see how Swift adapts and who, if at all, is going to start using digital assets for instant settlement, right? You know, they're going to be able to once they can start using these new standards, but who is going to start using that and what is it going to look like? So I just kind of like to, you know, show you this. This is standards released to 2022 key enhancement. Add support for non-deliverable trades in digital currencies, right? So this is actually Swift document talking about digital currencies and where certain things would be located. I've done videos and I've talked to you guys in the past about the digital token identifier, and then ISO 24165 and ISO 4217. And I'm gonna make a new fresh video for my channel, but you're talking about FX and commodities here too. I mean, this is really where a lot of the money kind of gets sent and received. So I'm just wondering how long it's going to take them instead of using the old correspondent system that has all of these different banks, right? I just thought this was a crazy picture, right? Because like this is what you're dealing with now, right? This is what the kind of financial institution to financial institution transfer looks like now, right? Let's say you're trying to move money from, you know, bank A to bank B. There could be a lot of different pathways, and this is kind of what clogs down the system, right? And imagine, you know, just if you didn't have to go through all of this, you could just go through one side to the other and have something like XRP or XLM or HBAR, whatever it is, you know, as that middle asset. I mean, it would clean a lot of this up. Isn't this crazy? I just really like this document because it kind of speaks volumes about how complicated the current financial system actually is. I know how much you like Tokenmetrics, JP. I know you like information. It's good information there. Sounds like a double feed. Do I have a double feed? It's always something, man. It's always something. Hold on. Mic, audio input. Mic, audio. No, it doesn't show double. I'll have to figure this out, guys. I'm sorry. Can I hear it? Let me hear it. It's painful.
It suggested that SEC.
Anyways, all right. Let me just keep moving through it. XRP and derivatives market to minimize credit risk in payment and settlement systems. Just to give an example, 100 trillion plus market, right? It's interesting to see how much of the market will come onto the SWIFT system. Not the SWIFT system, but the derivatives. How much of the derivatives market will come onto the become a digital twin and come on the blockchain, right? I think we're all waiting for an era where, you know, this new system gets turned off and this new system gets turned on. I just don't think it's going to be as, you know, as plain and as simple as a 1, 2, and a 3, right? I think it's going to take time, and I think it's going to, you know, it's interesting, right? Because you have SEPA too, which is the single European payment instrument, right? That's moving in November and October as well. So November 19th is the day that all of this is supposed to go live, but like who is going to be the first to use it? Like that is really what we're waiting to find out, right? Swift MX, right? So this is kind of what's getting MX messages is kind of what they're replacing. ISO 20022 payments definitions. MX/ISO 20022 is a newer Swift message standard for an XML format based on ISO. Can hear you clearly. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hey, Heidi. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Love you, dear. The ISO scheme includes 5 financial business domains: payments, securities, trade services, card, and foreign exchange. The chart below shows payment message supporting cash account management, payment initiation, clearing and settlement, and cash management, etc. So, behind all of this is just so much information, guys, right? So, this is kind of some of the account messaging, cash management, right? Account management. So all of these new, when they want to send these new payment messages, if they want to use ISO, they could use cryptocurrency and settle this instantly. So it'll be interesting to see who decides to start using this first, right? And what that institution looks like, right? Because as soon as one big bank or one big institution starts using it, it kind of does put a lot of the other ones at a disadvantage. So it kind of is a rush to the adopt list, right? And it's also, too, guys, a lot of stuff happening over on XDC. Andre Casterman, who spent over 20 years at Swift leading technology innovations in interbank payment states, that XRP and Sela are niche roles next to government-backed securities, right? So, that's why we talk about XRP and we talk about XDC and XLM on here a lot. Prior to his current role, Andre served 20 years at Swift, right? A lot of these people came from Swift. They kind of know what's coming. Examples include XRP and Stellar, right? Stellar is really big and connected with IBM, and IBM's pretty much connected to the world. So you really do need to pay attention to that. Also, you have the ISDA putting out information to now, trading forum, right? There, I had a video where I basically played you a podcast of the CEO speaking with another gentleman talking about how the derivatives market is moving to blockchain and how that's going to be about $2 trillion a day in clearing and settlement on $2 trillion a day just in that market, right? So really, where does that money start being processed and how does that money start being used, right? When you look at something like XRP that has 90 to 95% of the FX market globally covered, right? Really, and derivatives can be in pretty much almost any currency. They're usually in like your dollars, your euros, your more stable currencies. But it'll be interesting. Let me just play this. So Carolyn Pham, she is the head commissioner of the CFTC, right? She's actually a better version, I guess, of Gary Gensler. She actually was meeting with Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple. I don't know, maybe like 6 months ago. She actually looks like she's kind of getting out there and meeting the people and the players in the space. Is when you have Gary, who's kind of working there for the banks because he wants a nice cushy job after this is all done. Sourcing liquidity, that part right there, sourcing liquidity, that is the biggest thing. Sourcing collateral and liquidity management, right? That is where, crypto can really help when you have Bank of America, right? Citi, the DTCC, Stanley Morgan, JP Morgan. I mean, some of these are the biggest conglomerates, right? Financial market utilities in the world, right? And so it's really going to be interesting to see if a crypto company gets added to a FMU. JP Morgan accounts for more than 50% of all MX payment traffic on Swift ISO 20022 CBPR Plus Service Plus. Messages will be unlocked in November, right? So what is going to happen in November? That is really the question, right? I'm sure what we'd all like to have happen is they start using our XRPs and our XLMs and our H bars or whatever to start moving this money. But will it happen? That is the crystal ball question. I don't know, guys, to be honest with you. I do think, there is going to become a time where it has to start happening, right? Where banks are going to need money. Banks already have a hard time, right? And you already have all this pre-funded money, Nostro Vostro accounts all over the world, anywhere from, I've seen the numbers low as like 7 trillion and the numbers high as $27 trillion locked up globally. So that money's just stale, right? You do have leaders like Trade Tech building on XDC. This is Mr. Mann's putting this out. It says, since October 2022, Trade Tech has been selling their security token to retail investors on the XDC network for $104. XDC is 6 cents right now. XDC is my second choice as far as, my top 5. It looks like the MLETR records enables electronic use of bills, forms of lading, XRP and XCC liquidity for trade finance, right? This goes into effect here.
Andre, your thoughts, please.
So I think there is this key MELTR trend, and the model law was published in 2017. Some jurisdictions have adopted it, and the UK, as Emmanuel said, is going to be a key trigger, because the English law is key in global trade. But there is another development. I mean, Emmanuel said code needs law. I think that's right. And the technology world has progressed a lot, and cryptography in particular, together with blockchain, now enables basically to digitize the ownership of an electronic record, to digitize the transfer of ownership, to demonstrate the exclusive ownership of a particular electronic record. And this could not be done 10 years ago, unless you had like a club structure where you agreed with a central database that would be the custodian. Now technology, and again, it's mainly cryptography with electronic signatures, of course, but also blockchain, enables you to have an electronic record represented as a file that can be transferred between parties without all those parties being connected to the same platform. So really freely transferable documents. And that's what technology brings. And it's very recent technology in response to the MLETR, which is a legal framework, a legal requirement. So the two together now enables banks to serve their clients, indeed, in a very seamless fashion, so that there's no disruption. What they're going to see on screen is not just a scanned copy of a paper document, but is the actual original document, whether it represents a guarantee, a bill of exchange, or prom note. And the marriage of the two, the legal developments around the countries through the jurisdictions aligning with MLETR, together with the technology world bringing new technologies, and again, mainly cryptography, is very promising, because now banks can take advantage of those technologies to serve their clients in a fully electronic way. And we can go much further, because once you digitize those documents, you can organize, fraud protection. You can track the financing status of a particular instrument to fight double funding of specific instruments, or double use of specific instruments as a collateral. So this is an additional value proposition, but I think I want to highlight it, because for banks this is sometimes the key to be protected from a fraud perspective, rather than the digitization, which is sometimes is seen as an intermediary step.
Good. Thank you.
So XCC partners with Singapore's IMDA, launches network to finance MLETR compliant digital trade. So this is really going to stop fraud, like he said. Banks all around the world are going to be able to check kind of the same system and say, hey, has this person applied for any type of loans on these goods or services? And it'll help protect the banks in the end. It also will help get goods and services to people more quickly. It'll speed up the database. And it'll just overall help out the overall health of the globe, as far as trade can be taken off docks more quickly and get into the hands of consumers, and then businesses can make more money and hire more people, hopefully that is kind of the way that I think they're looking at this. Also, it's going to save a ton of paper. I think we're all kind of at the point where, if we can use less paper, we do. A lot of us are kind of on e-billing now, and we don't like the statements and things like that. But Andre Casterman, he was doing some speaking. He's about to do more at the TFD initiative. This is a minute 12. Let me just play this real quick and then we'll move on.
But we'll also hear from tech platforms, because at the end of the day, the tech is what makes it all automated, seamless, cost-effective, and auditable, of course. And we're going to hear about, indeed, TradeTech as a main hub of the TFD initiative to automate and make those trade assets accessible. We're going to also to hear about the partnership between TradeTech and XDC Network. XDC Network being the platinum sponsor of the Investor Day, and how basically TradeTech is leveraging the layer 1 blockchain of XDC Network to offer a tokenization option next to the traditional routes, which are securitization. And we're going to also hear from two additional tech companies, XDC Trade Network, which is an add-on on the XDC network to bring liquidity to corporates in the primary space, and Vaiana Exchange, which is also an additional tech platform that aims to bring liquidity to Indian exporters and bridging with the global world of financial institutions. And
he's going through how it's going to benefit not only the banks, but the people too. Virtual currency is a digital representation of value only available in electronic form, right? Virtual currencies. Just some more good information being put out by Mr. Mann. Obviously, it's funny that they do kind of list, Ripple's XRP here. I don't know. I think there's a master plan for XRP out there. I'm waiting for something to start happening. We're getting all of this good information, but yet, we are still kind of punting along here in space. So, let me just play this. It says there's a lot of misconceptions on the function of a CBDC. This is a short clip by Dr. Osu. Oh, I'm gonna butcher this. Hold on. Ousmane Jacques M. Mandang from Accenture. Let me play this. I'm sorry, I butchered
Central
that.
Bank of Sweden. But before kicking off, allow me to offer you some basic considerations as to why CBDC matters and why it will come. But before I do that, I wanted to talk to you briefly what is actually central bank money, to sort of get your, to ensure, it may bore some of you, but to ensure that we have a good understanding of what central bank money really is all about. So CBDC is central bank money, of course. It means it's money issued by the central bank. In the United States, this is the Federal Reserve. In Canada, it's the Bank of Canada. In Mexico, it's the Bank of Mexico. So central banks typically offer banknotes to the general public and reserves to commercial banks. Both represent liabilities of the central bank. Banknotes, or in the US, they are called Federal Reserve notes, correspond to currency in circulation. They are bearer instruments and physical tokens and can be used in peer-to-peer exchanges by the general non-bank public, meaning ourselves. It is the only central bank money we as the general public have access to. Reserves is book money or scriptural money and consists of a ledger entry. Currency in circulation plus reserves form the monetary base, or M0. Now, if you look at this chart here, you'll see a representation of the sort of money that we are talking about. So when we talk about CBDC, it is the darker bit on the right-hand side. And if you see and look at what it means compared with all the monies in the United States, you'll find that it is a relatively small proportion of what we call broad money or money more generally, which are typically liabilities of the commercial banking system. Okay.
So guys, understand this though, like one day you're going to wake up and all of this value, right, is going to have to be digital on the back end, right? I know we think it's digital on the back end, but it's really just kind of numbers on a computer screen somewhere, right? But it still takes a lot of time, the correspondent banking system, to move that value. But when we do go full digital and they do decide to make the CBDC and they start creating money, that new money now is going to live on whatever layer 1 or whatever blockchain that is built on, or that is going to reside on, right? And that's what a federated sidechain could do, give you privacy for a CBDC like this. But you know, what happens when that value starts adding up? You know, 1 trillion, 2 trillion, 5 trillion, 10 trillion, right? When we get what does that do to the price of any asset when you're starting to add, you know, trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, right? Not only the transactions that you're doing on a daily basis, on a second basis, but the value that is being added, the digital twin that's being added, that value that lives on the blockchain. What does that do for the asset, right? So I'll have some more information on this. I'll make some videos on this. I just thought that was a really interesting clip. I'm not gonna play this one. There was the G20, the G20 met just before my birthday. There were some new recommendations. I did a video on that. It'll be coming out here soon. Check this out. So like I just want to show you this because I left Hong Kong like the day this was happening. I got out of Hong Kong a day early. Not a day early, but like the day that this was happening. Here, let me show you this. This is nuts. Look how much rain this is. My best friend Dwight, he was actually watching my dog when my wife was at work, and I actually went out and found went to go to a couple cigar shops to find him some nice cigars for watching Luna, and I had to go through some of these. It's just crazy, man. Just so much water. Look at this water. Anyways, I was lucky to get out. Thankful I got out. And let's continue. So I think JP sent me this the other day in Sensei Chat when we were just talking about it. I just thought this was interesting. Regulatory and legislative uncertainty puts 4 million jobs at risk by 2030. The U.S. is at risk of losing 1 million developer jobs and 3 million related non-technical jobs over the next 7 years in Web3. Actually, I think it's probably more. And think about how many dollars in taxes that they're going to lose out on too, right? I mean, the amount of people that have already left, the businesses that have already left, you can't really make that up. And when Coinbase and some of these other ones say, hey, we're just going to go over to London or England where we're treated better, what is that going to do for the U.S.? It's just going to keep putting us at a disadvantage. You got John Deaton putting things out now, saying it's time for change. Gary Gensler is a cancer. Let me just play this for you real quick.
I'm at the point now where I'm frustrated, and I know you are, because enough of the damn letters, man. It is time to issue subpoenas, congressional subpoenas, where they do not get complied with. You get a court order, you send the marshal down there to start bringing people in before the committee. It's rarely done. I don't know why. It's why I hate Democrats and Republicans together equally, because they seem to almost have this unwritten rule. Well, we won't go that far. We'll write letters and we'll pontificate and we'll engage in rhetoric, but we're not going to actually institute some type of change. It is time for that. Gary Gensler is a cancer on the American economy.
So, Zelf, I guess in Hong Kong, I could buy Cuban cigars, and that's what really he wanted, was Cuban cigars. So I went to a couple of cigar shops. One was in like some train terminal. It was a really nice shop, actually. It was really beautiful. But let me play this.
He is a cancer on innovation, and it's not just him, but he's the head of the SEC. They're leading the fight. It is time to get him out of there by putting pressure and real oversight.
Yeah. So we actually. I was very lucky to get out when I did. I got like the last Uber, because I went down. I was up at like 4 in the morning, and I was going to go to the airport early because it was raining all night, and I was like, man, this doesn't look good. So I went down the lobby. I was like, is there a bus? Nope. Is there a taxi? Nope. He's like, you can try to order a Lyft or an Uber though. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I hit Uber, and there was like one car in your area, and it's like it was a Tesla, and I was like, all right, forget it. I need to get there, select. And the guy, actually I got his phone number. I talked to Zero for about 45 minutes about crypto. It was pretty funny, but his name was Sam. And his daughter has the same birthday as me. She's younger, but he was telling me that they were calling everybody to basically get off the roads because it was a black rainstorm, and I guess that is the worst kind of rainstorm you can have there. Anyways. Breeden does not view cryptocurrencies as a significant threat to financial stability. However, she cautioned that it could change if crypto becomes more entwined with the broader financial system. Or ecosystem. I think we know that crypto is 100% going to be intertwined with it. That's why we need good rules and legislation for that globally on a global scale, right? This is the BIS Innovation Hub. The Bank of Israel complete projects Sela. This is Project Sela. I'm doing some research on Sela. I don't think this is XRP. I'm not sure if this is. I didn't see anything related to it when I searched. Yeah, I didn't see anything related to it when I searched, but I still need to do some due diligence. Anyone know if this is Ethereum tested or what this is built on? I need to catch up on this. SDI meeting to accelerate. Yeah, they could accelerate. It all depends. Hong Kong Monetary Authority.
Central bank money forms the core of our global monetary system, offering a foundation of safety, neutrality, accessibility, and integrity. As economies become increasingly digital, central banks are considering the possibilities and challenges of a retail central bank digital currency, or CBDC. But designing a well-functioning retail CBDC system is not a simple task. While the central bank will play a critical role in operating the core of the system and ensuring sound and secure payments, payment needs of the general public are diverse and constantly evolving. One way to meet this demand is through a vibrant community of intermediaries who, through open competition, can provide innovative and accessible payment services and handle the large
private sector PSPs, right? It's all the innovation always comes from the private sector, and then it gets adopted, right? But all of these like different things. You got gaming, you got healthcare, cloud, right? I don't know what some of these other things are, but email, right? All of this infrastructure, right? This like Web 2 infrastructure, right, is going to be built into Web 3, right? And that's kind of what is happening right now. It's the transition into this new fourth industrial revolution. You got your AI, you got your cryptography. All this stuff is pushing that way, right? Because with quantum computing, nothing really is safe if it's on a regular kind of server.
Operational burden of customer-facing activities. However, increased access and a greater number of intermediaries could heighten exposure to cybersecurity threats. For CBDC as a critical financial market infrastructure, cybersecurity is essential. With all this in mind, Project Sela tests the feasibility of an accessible and cyber-secure CBDC.
What's up, Vlad? We are live. Yes. Good to see you, man. How's it going?
Ecosystem through hands-on building of a proof of concept that is conducted through the lens of policy, legal, cybersecurity, and technology. Ecosystem is designed to maximize access to CBDC for users and payment service providers, while also minimizing the associated cybersecurity risk through preventative architecture design. The project also aims to preserve the desirable attributes of cash and capture the benefits of digitalization.
So, I mean, I'm not going to bore you with another 2.5 minutes of kind of them talking, but anytime I look, I always like to go into, they always have Word documents associated or with whatever project it is, and you can actually access it. When you get inside of it, you can kind of search the page, or you can go to the index and kind of look. I always kind of look at, Ethereum, if it's Ethereum, XTC, XR, you can do XLM. And then settlement is also a good word to check out. But I do need to do my own due diligence on Sela. I'm not too sure what this actually was tested on. I do apologize. I loaded this on here like I was going to get into it before I jumped on here. But the last couple of days I spent in bed because I wasn't feeling good. So getting sick and then going to travel across the world and then coming back and then it it hit me with like a ton of bricks. NatWest debuts payments links for open banking payments. Just more information, right? Banks are kind of feel the pressure to move towards this digital banking. This is actually September 12th. NatWest open banking payment platform PayIt has introduced a new way for businesses to make payments without needing their recipient's account details by sending a secure single-use payment link, right? So this is just new ways to send payments, right, with multi-factor authentication, reducing the risk of payment to an incorrect bank account, right? It's going to be all QR codes and payment links, which will be pretty cool, but I'm sure there are going to be people that are going to be trying to, rob you in some type of which way. Volante, Finextra and Volante's survey reveals a staggering 4-fold increase in bank adoption of payments as a service. See your full findings here. I thought this was pretty interesting. Banks see the writing on the wall, guys. Banks are not, they've been banks, especially if they've been around for hundreds of years, because they kind of see trends and they see things changing. And when they see kind of this coming, they know that they need to change or they're not going to be banks anymore. How lucky to have you back. Thanks, Vlad. I love you too, man. Thanks. I appreciate you, brother. Hope I'll help all good. Yeah. All is good, man. Getting better. What's up, Val? I'll probably butcher your whole name if I say it together, but what's up? Good to see you. So Volante Technology, global leader in cloud payments modernization, today published key findings in its annual research collaboration with Finextra. Payments modernization big survey 2023. 300 survey people, 300 top bank survey were surveyed. 72% of banks expect to increase their budget for payments modernization this coming year. 90% of respondents will leverage a cloud-based payments infrastructure. Well, that's obvious, right? I wonder what the other 10% plan to do. 40% cited for vendor provider payments as a service, almost 4-fold increase from 364% last year. And then you have 69% of all bankers state that they are only delivering the minimum capabilities required for ISO compliance or not at all. So I do think banks are going to really the big ones are going to make the changes first, and then the smaller ones, right? It really just gives the smaller guys options, right? Because these smaller banks only really have one option, kind of go with the bigger ones, correspondent routes, right? JP Morgan, Citi, HSBC, Bank of America, these guys all have these routes all over the world through these different partnerships, right? This is the correspondent banking system. And when you're able to kind of bypass that, and go with something new, it is really going to be interesting to see who moves first and what that looks like. So I'm definitely waiting for that. RBS trials Ripple as part of a $3.5 billion tech revamp. This is September 11th, 2021. Just wanted you guys to remember, Royal Bank of Scotland has in fact done some testing with Ripple way back in the day. And this could be one of the central banks that is on that list that Anthony Welfare talks about, 30 plus central banks. I thought this was funny. This is kind of Ripple here, kind of the links to people that used to work for Ripple or currently still do. Michael S. Barr, not many people like this guy. He's kind of current head of the Federal Reserve, the banking part of the Federal Reserve, I think. Michael Warren, he's got links to the White House. Susan Athey, advisor to Microsoft. Mary Jo White, Securities and Exchange Commission. Sandy O'Connor, you see her a lot. Links to JP Morgan and BNY Mellon. Rosie Rios, of course, right? She's got her name on $1.8 or $2 trillion. Craig Phillips, links to BlackRock, Morgan Stanley, and Credit Suisse. Angela Manuel, links to Secretary of State, NSA, and the Department of Defense, right? So you gotta love the people that work or used to work for Ripple. And then you got MoneyGram doing some use cases with Stellar, which is huge, right? Let me play this.
A bit more into the specifics of the integration. Again, for anyone not familiar, this is powered via Stellar's on and off ramp API, SEP24, and the settlement asset for this transaction is Stellar USDC. Stellar USDC is front-ended a bit in the flow, so your users will see USDC, as you can see up on the screen here, for the cash in and for the cash out, but we don't always expect it to be the destination asset. We consider this a cash to crypto play rather than a cash to Stellar USDC play. I also commented briefly on kind of the different use cases for custodial and non-custodial wallets. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that there are different onboarding paths for both. Custodial wallets are required to be licensed in the jurisdictions in which they operate this product. Non-custodial wallets do not share that requirement. And then I'd also call out that the KYC is collected by MoneyGram via an in-app web view, but we get questions all the time about this. If your user has already submitted KYC once, it will pre-populate going forward, so it should be a really seamless user experience.
Happy birthday to you, G-Man. Us Virgos got to stick together in life, right? We are special people, that is for sure. Big happy birthday to you, man. Good to see you, Jason. How's it going, man? What's up, guys? Thank you for being here. If you guys can hit the like button, I'd really appreciate it if you haven't already. I know it's kind of that silly button below, but everyone forgets to hit, but please do so if you can. You know what? I'm not even going to play this, guys. This is just more American bureaucracy and bullshit. Let's keep it going. $5 trillion in assets could be tokenized on blockchains in the next 5 years. I think the number could be higher, but hey, you know, let's set the bar low and see where we're at in 5 years. This is R3, of course, Digital Assets Hub, right? It'll be interesting, right? How long this actually takes, and what path does it take, and how long does it take, right? Because that's what everyone's itching to know. Obviously, the faster the money moves to the blockchain, the better for all of us holding certain crypto, right? But they don't want to rush unless something is truly broken, and if something is truly broken, well, that's not good for a lot of people. So we're in this really weird situation. In order for us to get to a place of extreme wealth, something very bad would need to happen in the banking system, right? And so do we root for that, or do we not root for that? I'm stuck in between, right? I want it to happen, but I don't want all that pain and suffering to be on a lot of people. So you know, I hope it's more of a slower a movement to this, and it's not just a huge crash and then a black swan event. I mean, it would be kind of like ripping the Band-Aid off. We do know that the printing machine that the money system that we've known for the last, 80 years, 50 years, whatever it is in the U.S. We got off the gold standard in 71, so it's whatever. But, you know, it's coming to an end here sooner or later. Yoshitaka Tao put this out. Ripple combines forces with Fortress Trust to power Web3 infrastructure, right? This is Ripple just making more plays, expanding their infrastructure, right? It's all about expanding their Web3 infrastructure, excuse me. The enterprise crypto and blockchain market continues to grow and is predicted to reach $250 billion by 2030. Anyways, never mind. And compound annual growth rate at CAGR of around 54% as more financial institutions and enterprises adopt crypto and blockchain technology. Licensed financial, regulatory, and technology infrastructure is critical for these organizations to join the Web3 world. Ripple forges ties with Fortress Trust. Ripple's excited to announce that it's agreed to acquire Fortress Trust. Booger, I missed out on live. We are live here. We are live still here, Flipper. What's up, Flipper? We're still live here, brother. Anyways, guys, the reason Ripple does this is not only to kind of improve their footprint out in the world, but it also, some of these businesses already have banking licenses and certain licenses that Ripple might need in certain countries, and so they look for these acquisitions twofold, right? Because some of these financial institutions are hurting, and Ripple can kind of come in and not only save them, but also take advantage of whatever licensing that they do have. Fortress Trust is a financial institution that provides Web3 financial, regulatory, and technology infrastructure for blockchain innovators, from Fortune 500 businesses to fintech startups who are building blockchain-based services that will transform the world. So that's an interesting, good new partnership that I was gone for, and I just wanted to talk about it. CBDC conference, Ripple is a gold partner. R3 is a silver partner, right? I do think these guys go hand in hand, right? R3, the DTCC Project Ion, right? When they were building that and they were testing that, XDC really wasn't around yet. You did have XLM, but there was no XLM bridge. So I do think Project Ion is going to be using XRP, but we'll have to see how that goes. This is from SBI. It looks like, to whom it may concern. This is September 6, 2023. XRP-based international monetary transfer service using Ripple's payment solution to gradually expand in the Philippines, Vietnam, and Indonesia, right? So they're just trying to test in different corridors, right? Where they needed, sometimes these are the most painful corridors where it costs more money to get money between these locations, right? And when instead of paying, 5-10%, sometimes even high as 15 or 20% to move money in between some of these corridors, you can move money for pennies. This really does kind of change the landscape. Tranglo, right? Ripple owns, I think, is like 50 or 60% of Tranglo. For this Go Live scheme, SBI Remit will send the customer's payment request, and SBI VC Trade will send XRP in response to the request in real time. Tranglo PTE Limited, a leading cross-border payments provider, will process the customer's payout request from SBI Remit and pay out to the beneficiary bank account receiving country. So this is pretty cool. This is from SBI Group. Yeah, you're going to see more and more like this, right? You do have connections with Tranglo into China, right? Into UnionPay. So I'm really interested in those. 1.5 billion asset manager Franklin Templeton files for spot Bitcoin ETF, right? So more spot ETFs. Bitcoin's going to soar, guys. Don't get me wrong. Oh, Dr. Stan's in the house. What's up, Stan? Dr. Stan is one of my biggest fans here. He likes to challenge everything I say, but hey, I welcome you, Stan. How are you doing, man? I hope you're having a great day, brother. Peter, we were saying XRP 100x by 2025. Maybe by the end of 2025, November, when all of these, when 80% of the world's payments are now you go over SWIFT. So that's what they predict. So they predict that some banks won't ever upgrade to this new ISO messaging, right? Just remember though, ISO messaging doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to use crypto, but you do have the option to add crypto for that settlement, right? So if we're talking about DTI, which is digital token identifier, which is this. So the DTI Foundation is a nonprofit organization that establishes by e-trading software that has registration authority RA, and the new international organization of regional standards, ISO standards 24165 for digital token identifiers. So I think this is what needs to have happen, right? You can actually look up I've looked up XRP here, but there's a list of all kinds of different tokens on here. You have like XAlgo. You have like just some weird tokens, Phantom, Volt, VET, Velo, USDC, USDT. I mean, there's all kinds of different tokens on here. And this is how you identify them and kind of some of the information down here that identifies a token. This is what you would attach to the payment, the ISO payment. And then you have ISO 4217 here. And then you have, these are the cryptocurrencies on that. So I'll be making some videos about this kind of stuff. I've just been beat since I gotten back. But there's some fun stuff here that I want to go over with you guys. We did play a little bit of this earlier. There's also this great this 9-minute video, but I'm gonna make a full video about this video. I don't want to play it right now for you. Matthew LANY shines this as a HKMA CBDC ecosystem. My predictions: wholesale CBDC rolls out first, then retail. This is always going to be the case, guys. Wholesale is the government, okay, and then you have retail, which is for business to business and person to person. You do have FIS Global here, which is interesting, right? Which is a Ripple partner. But interesting to see how Sela will roll out and what that'll look like. I thought this was interesting. You do have now some of the biggest automotive, Ford, General Motors, and I've never heard of this company, Stellantis. Now has 150,000 workers on strike. Check this out. This is in the U.S.
We are the union. Mighty, mighty union. Mighty, mighty union. All the workers union. All the workers union. Ass kicking union. Ass kicking.
So these guys and ladies are out here demanding higher pay. With things, products raising, inflation raising so quickly, and their pay not raising with it. People want better benefits, right? They're doing all the work. They want to see better benefits. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out too. I'm more worried about the overall how much value is owed to some of these banks by some of these bigger buildings that are owned in some of these metropolitan places around the United States, right? $1.5 trillion worth of business loans. 70% of those business loans are in small to regional sized banks. So there's definitely going to be more bank failures before the end of this. We'll have to see how that plays out. He sounds well informed. Who are we talking about? We talking about Stan? We're tired of all these lies, no price action despite positive development. Shame on all you paid YouTubers. Well, Stan, I don't make a lot of money on YouTube, man. I maybe make $1,000 a month by spending hours upon hours of my day researching and trying to put all this information out for you. And it doesn't matter if you put $1 billion in the XRP, Stan. I'm not selling at these prices, so I don't know where I make all this extra money, bud. But hey, more power to you, man. Whatever. I don't have the energy to block you, brother. So good for you, man. Good for you, Stan. Anyways, Vlad is saying, when will you realize that the best investment you can ever make other than when yourself is holding XRP possible? I do think that I agree with you on that. Elias, UK's the EDTA goes live September 20th, XTC. That's going to be big, man. XTC. Do you think anything will be announced on Ripple on 29th of September? Hard to say. I think they're getting everybody in a place and they're getting everybody together. They could announce an IPO. It'd be hard to, and I don't know, could you announce an IPO, or maybe they announce a settlement, or maybe they just want to have a big ass party right in Gary's face and throw it at him. I don't really know, Flipper, but I hope something good comes out of it, man. I was asked by Crypto Lulu if I was gonna go, no, I'm not gonna fly to New York. It's just too far, man. I gotta spend 6 hours flying to California, then 6 hours flying to New York, and it's not a good time for me right now. I need to get back in my mental health and everything before I try to go out and do anything kind of crazy. Yeah, it's a cool, man. G-Man, he comments on every video, and it's always something negative, and he thinks I'm out here just making a killing off you guys buying XRP. I don't know, man. It's cool. Hey, we're all different people. We're all just, I'm not out here to make money off of you. I'm just trying to show you information that I think is I'm trying to show you the future. I feel like I can do enough research where I can see what's going to happen. And I feel that I'm so passionate about that I just want to bring that information and show you guys. And if, the people that find value in it, I love you. And the people that still watch every video and don't find value, I still love you too, man. That's why I haven't blocked you, Stan. I mean, you said some really, fun stuff. So, hey, more power to you, man. You keep watching my videos. I love you, bud. It's got nothing to do with hardworking YouTubers like Sensei. Yeah, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. If you're not trying to scam somebody on my channel, I'm not gonna block you. I mean, you can say whatever you want. I honestly just don't be a dick to somebody else on the but whatever. More information, November 2023, latest value-added services for cross-border payments. Most drastic change, the new ISO message that can contain any element without restrictions, right? Man, what is going to happen in November? That is really, really where we are at right now. I thought this was interesting, and you know what? Everyone has a different view on if climate change is real or not. I personally, I've seen some pretty crazy stuff happening with the climate, and so I want to play this because I feel this is important. And whatever your views are, your views are.
These are the 16 tipping elements, the large biophysical systems that we have scientific evidence that regulates the state of the entire climate system on Earth. 9 of these 16 are showing signs of instability. Push them too far and they will shift over from supporting humanity to starting to undermine humanity. 4 of these are showing scientific evidence of now being at risk already at 1.5 degrees Celsius. We're approaching this point very rapidly. 2 of them, the Greenland ice sheet and the West Antarctic ice sheet, together represent 10 meters sea level rise. This shows scientifically that 1.5 degrees Celsius is a physical limit. It is not a political target. But what I say next will be the most alarming thing. We have more and more scientific evidence of connectivity between these tipping elements. cascade risk of dominoes. Let me give you one example. Here's the one that is most researched. Greenland ice sheet, accelerated melting, warming 4 times faster than the planet as a whole, releasing cold fresh water, slowing down the overturning of heat in the North Atlantic, pushing the whole monsoon system down further south, causing droughts and forest fires over the Amazon rainforest. One more tipping element system, locking warm surface water in the Southern Ocean, accelerating the melting of the West Antarctic ice sheet. The North Pole is connected to the South Pole in regulating the stability of the entire Earth system. Dear friends, scientifically, this is not a climate crisis. We are now facing something deeper. Mass extinction, air pollution, undermining ecosystem functions, really putting humanity's future at risk. This is a planetary crisis.
I mean, you know, are we still going to have a world in 100 years? I don't know. That's a tough question. I do think that we do keep kind of screwing it up, personally. Did I want to get into some of the stuff? I thought this was a fun document. I'm going to make a video on this. I just thought this was, I was kind of looking around. I was hanging out with my mom. She was reading a book and I was kind of screwing around, and I came across this city ISO migration, you know, Treasury and Trade Solutions. This was March 27, 2023. And I haven't seen anyone post this. I'm sure somebody has. There's a lot of great researchers out here, but I just thought this was kind of fun. Check this out. This says overview. So I think this is for city employees inside the bank. But let's take a look at this. This is fun. With ISO 20022 migration as an industry-wide transition to a unified standard for financial messaging, currently institutions and market infrastructures and market participants use a variety of standards when exchanging messages that facilitate funds transfers, cross-border payments, clearing and settlement, securities transactions, reporting, and all other types of financial activity. This plurality of standards leads to inefficiencies, barriers to automation, and challenges for global interconnectivity. The ISO 20022 aims to address these challenges by establishing a worldwide standard for communication. And then it goes on who is leading it, and how does migrate relate to a SWIFT. And then I just think this is great. You just kind of keep coming down here. It has more information. And like I said, I'm going to do a whole video on this, so you don't feel like you're going to miss out on anything. But I like how it has the timeline for basically all of, this is North America payment systems, EMEA, right? Eurozone, Target 2, Euro 1, UK, the CHAP systems. This can do anywhere from like 400 billion pounds to a trillion, up to a high of £1 trillion per day. You got Ukraine, South Africa, Nigeria is on here. U.S. Fed. I think this is Fed Wire, not Fed Now. Chips in Canada, you have something called Links, which is their payment system, and I've done a video on that as ready. And then the APAC, you got Singapore, we got Australia, New Zealand, Thailand, and Hong Kong. So very interesting to see these, Citi putting out these timelines. But everything ends here in November 2025. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how that works and how that rolls out. What's up, Christopher Robert? Love your second name there, my friend. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. All I can do is all I can do, man. I find this information. I want to put it out. I feel it's important to you guys. I feel you guys are worth it. I do need to catch up on some of you guys' comments. I do apologize. Like I said, if you didn't catch the beginning of the stream, I've been in bed the last couple of days. I've mentally kind of I have some physical difficulties with my body, and I've had a lot of surgery in my past, and the trip kind of took a lot out of me physically. And when I got back, my physical and my mental kind of both kind of collapsed together. And then I had this crazy allergy doctor's shot, and I couldn't do anything for a couple days. So I do apologize for missing the stream 2 days. But Flipper says, I love your content. You present more data than most, connecting the dots. You're clearly here to help educate us. That's all I'm here to do, man. That's all I care about, is trying to get you guys more information, This also is kind of cool. It has Japan on here. This is a really fun document that I just kind of stumbled across. And like I said, I'm sure somebody else has kind of presented this before, but I'll be doing a full video on all of this information coming up here on my channel. I need to get some new stuff cracking, and this is going to be one of the things I'm going to cover. You know, I've told you guys this before, but I do think Ripple could become a financial market utility through the Dodd-Frank Act. This is like what the DTCC is and the CLS and some other things that basically are what keeps the U.S. financial system working, right? And so I have some tiles lined up here that I want to kind of go over with you guys in videos. But I'm gonna play the rest of this Brad interview, and then I'll kind of answer any questions you guys have, and then I'll end here today. Let me grab some water real quick.
Very clearly, XRP is not a security. What they have asked permission from the courts to appeal isn't actually whether or not XRP is a security. That is still clear. It's more nuanced about whether or not in certain circumstances, if there's a transaction, it would be an investment contract. So I don't know what the court will rule about whether or not they're even allowed to appeal right now. But I remain very optimistic, because I think as you go up the appellate court system in the United States, you actually get more conservative. And that, I think, bodes well. And at the end of the day, I said this a long time ago, the facts are on our side and the law is on our side, and we'll continue to prevail in court because of that.
I'm interested when it comes to, because you just mentioned the amount of hiring that you're doing, 80% of it is going to be outside of the US over the course of this year. When it comes to who is going to be the next crypto hub or define themselves as the global crypto hub, do you think that the door is permanently shut on the US being able to do that?
I wouldn't say it's permanently shut. It's definitely it's definitely a tough spot. You know, the U.S. is still the largest economy in the world at 22% of global GDP, and so we will have a presidential election. There will be a change, or maybe there'll be a change. I don't know if Biden's definitely running. I don't comment on those things, but I think there'll be some shift as you see new administrations come in. I think eventually Congress will be, frankly, called to act. And I think the fact that the SEC continues to lose in court, there's another decision recently around a grayscale ETF conversion. Yeah. And look, the judges are using really harsh language about the SEC. In the grayscale case, the judges ruling, there's an appellate court, a unanimous 3-judge panel saying that the SEC was being arbitrary and capricious. These are pretty harsh words for a government agency.
Are they playing Ice Ice Baby over the background of Brad Garlinghouse right now? Is that what that song is? Can anyone? I mean, I know I'm trying to listen to Brad, but is that Vanilla Ice?
So in terms of your battle with the SEC, is this something that you think you would like to see reaching the Supreme Court, for instance?
Look, I would like closure, and I'd like to not have it, ongoing. I'm very optimistic that if the SEC wants to push this to Supreme Court, that'll be even a more final verdict that what Gary Gensler believes is not what the law says.
When it comes down to your profitability, because you're facing issues with regulators in the US, we've seen really thin trading volumes, very low liquidity in the space. How does that affect your profitability as a business?
It is.
Look, there's no.
It is. It's Ice Ice Baby, bro. All right, stop. Collaborate and listen. Ice is back with a brand new invention. Man, I don't know how many times I listened to this song as a young, you had the Walkman, you had the cassette player, right? Oh man, I love it.
Question when crypto is going through its boom cycles, that's a better thing for the whole industry. But Ripple I've been in the company 8.5 years, and every time we've gone through what are often called crypto winters.
All right, hold on. So Ethan says, hey man, big fan of yours, and I really trust your judgment. Had a quick question. We've all heard SPI going live with XRP within the month. So Ethan, are you talking about the SPI remit, the new channels? Are you talking about? I just went over that, didn't I? Where's that at? Are you talking about? Where'd it go? I thought we were just talking about. I think you're talking. No, this is Fortress. Man, I can't remember. We were just talking about that. I think that's what you're talking about, right? Is that going to send XRP to $100? No, it's not. No, not even close. So they're testing those. They're going to be testing those. We don't know how much value is going to flow through those. Ethan, really, to send XRP to $100, man. Like, I mean, really, you're going to need a lot of money. A lot of money that's added either to the network through All right, because retail is really not here to push XRP. We're at 50 cents here. $26 billion market cap. So, you know, I mean, even to 4x from the price that we're at right now, to get to, you know, $2, we would need to pass $100 billion market cap, right? So how this is really going to work, how XRP is going to hit a higher price, like a 3-digit target, you're going to need to pretty much get a lot of the supply off of the secondary market, which are exchanges, right? So exchanges get bought out or bought up by financial institutions or banks. Ripple has the, you know, 45 billion in escrow. Also, I think Ripple controls probably, you know, 13 to 15 billion also that they bought back off the open market. I think Ripple has more like 60% control. Yeah, the guy that lost, you know, $1 billion XRP from BNY Mellon, that's 1%. And then you have the holders, right? And then you have the exchanges. So really to send this to a price target like that, you're going to have a lot of adoption, man. You're going to need trillions and trillions a day to be going through the system, as well as trillions added to the system to get to that price target. So no, I don't think you're going to see much of a difference until they're kind of ready for this kind of full global reset scenario. If that's the case, brother. I hope that's a fair answer to your question. Stay truthful, always, Vlad, man, always. From Virgo to Virgo, much love, Vlad. I love you, brother. Thank you, dude. The G-Man, Vanilla Ice, bro. He's still got the classic, bro. He still got the classic. Signed up perfectly for the proper party. Yeah, no, the party could be a big announcement. I mean, let's remember, guys, so just because ISO messaging is going to be the new standard, you know, it doesn't mean banks are going to start using crypto, right? I think banks in the US are still going to be very hesitant, since you have people like Gary Gensler who are, you know, still strong arming, Ripple, the company, as well as other crypto companies in the United States, kind of pushing them out. It's tough, right? What do? You know, around the world, you do have better places of pockets of adoption. But, you know, the U.S. really is one of the main financial hubs of the world, right? The U.K. is probably the second largest. You know, Japan's got a pretty big market there. But, you know, I do think once the UK kind of really jumps in, joins the party, the US is going to kind of be forced to do so also, right? Because it'll put the US at a massive disadvantage. So I think something is going to get done in the US. $5 from G-Man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. I will take that, and I will use that money for good. Thank you, brother. I really do appreciate you, man. Thank you for the $5 birthday gift, my friend. Thank you. It says, thanks, happy birthday, brother. Thanks to you for all your hard work, right? I appreciate you, brother. What's up, John? Good to see you, John. I see you in the comments all the time, Mr. Garcia. How you doing, sir? Ethan also said, another thing I wanted to ask you is, what are your thoughts on ISO partially going live in November? So, yeah, I mean, you're basically getting rid of category, what is it? So I got research on this right here. Well, so I think it's really interesting when you look at, I wanted to better understand how ISO, the organization itself worked, right? Because, you know, you have these new ISO standards coming out, but who's setting the standards? What countries are involved? I really wanted to dig into that. So I was doing, and that's what some of this research in this beginning here is kind of me doing research on ISO and basically how ISO works. And if you don't vote, you're basically, you won't ever have the ability to, you know, be represented in there. There's just information that I find very interesting about how this organization works and how people are put on the council and how people can vote. You know, I wanted to kind of do a video about, you know, his membership fees. There's all kinds of different information here that, you know, I don't see a lot of people talking about, right? Which I think is kind of cool. So I'm going to go through this probably tomorrow. I wanted to wait until I'm like really on the top of my game before I start trying to, you know, create and going through all this information, because it's a lot of information to go through. But I'm going to be going through a lot of this stuff and going through, you know, different ISO standards. Here's all the different countries, and these are the participants that they have per country. As you can see, China is some of the highest. But all of these countries adopt the same standards, right? That's the whole ball of wax here, right? So when they adopt the new ISO standard, right, it's all of these countries basically adopting that same standard, right? It's a lot of countries here, guys. A lot of countries. I think it's like 100. It was 167 members representing their countries, and it's 167 member countries, I believe. So, and then you have some countries like down here that are just subscribers, right? So these countries like Belize, Grenada, Nicaragua, Paraguay, these countries actually don't get a vote, and so they cannot participate. So some of these countries would just have to adopt whatever these bigger countries are adopting. And so some of these bigger countries set policy for these smaller countries, right? That's how this works, right? But if you're not there to vote on the actual, if you were not there to vote on ISO 20022, you wouldn't be able to in the future make any kind of changes, or you wouldn't be able to make any kind of different implementation. You would actually have to rely on these other countries that take part of it. I just wanted to learn more about how it all worked, and so I'm gonna put this in a video for you guys to kind of show you a little bit like that. I thank you, John. I appreciate you, brother. I'm late on the birthday stream, man. That's on me. I wasn't feeling good, but I'm feeling a little bit better now, man. Sorry for so many questions. It's all good, man. But if you had to put a year in approximately when you see a 3-digit, so Ethan, what you're gonna need for a 3-digit XRP, there's a few different things that can happen, right? One is the black swan event where everything crashes down and you need this new financial system restarted with everything to have a digital twin. Everything goes, basically to the blockchain, right? That's the situation where you wouldn't see like a 3-digit XRP. I think you would see like a 4-digit XRP. What's the likelihood of that happening? I'd say very, very small, very small. I think maybe you're talking like a percent, like 99% not happening, 1% happening. You would have total just the collapse of the current system, which it would have to be worse than 2008 on crack, basically. Which could happen. I mean, we don't know what this $1.5 trillion worth of these business loans that are all due over the next 18 months are going to do for the economy. You already have like a 33% a rate of not unemployment, but a rate of businesses leaving, like San Francisco, Texas. Like a lot of companies are not renewing their business leases. That's what I'm talking about here. So you have 1.5 trillion in those loans that are coming up. Usually those loans are like balloon loans where you're paying interest only until the loan comes up, and then you pay one lump sum. So I think a lot of these banks that hold these loans, and these titles are going to be upside down hugely on these loans, and I think that could add to the stress of the current system. And 2024 is an election year too, so it's going to be harder for Democrats in the United States to hold on. You have the Eurozone, who's already kind of slipping into that recession. I do think the U.S. is not far behind. You have Michael Burry, who's predicted what the 2008 financial crisis. He's betting that the S&P is going to get wrecked. So we'll have to see how that all goes. But it's going to take a lot of good things for that to have happen. Even now, what you could look at too is if something like the XRP ledger was used for the derivatives market, or a big chunk of the derivatives market, you could see a very, very high price for XRP. It really is about supply and demand, my guy. So you really do. You really would need a lot of the supply off the open market, right? If you have like less than 1% supply circulating and you're having this massive use and need for the XRP token, that is when you would see a price like that. If things still kind of go at their sluggish pace and the banking system doesn't collapse, I think you're looking more like end of 2025, 2026 before you see some real kind of magic, because you still need Basel framework for banks to be able to hold crypto on their balance sheets. Banks are going to offer you crypto as you get paid, they're going to say, hey, you got paid. You want to put 10% of your paycheck into, Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever it may be, but they're going to want to earn money and commissions on those trades too. So don't be shocked the day when your bank says, hey, you want to come custody your crypto here, because that's where this is headed to. So, I do think the next bull run is going to be a utility bull run, and we've never really had a utility bull run before. These are all been speculation bull runs, right? Because we really have not reached a place of mass adoption or mass global regulation yet. So what happens when you combine global regulation with a utility bull market, and banks start using digital assets to not only save time but save money? What happens when those three things come together? What happens to the price of an asset like XRP? That's the hard question, guy. That's a really hard question. So unless something collapses tomorrow, man, it's going to take some time. Yep, we did talk about the Frankel T. Templeton thing. We talked about that just not too long ago. I did bring that up. MMT says ISO just set standards. Yep. Extends the ISO standards include lots of additional metadata, caters to digital assets. I think the X token prices move in unionization, bridging liquidity, etc. It's weird how XRP and XLM kind of move together no matter what happens, right? It's really, really interesting how that happens. Those loans are where banks will take them. But can banks take that hit is the question, JP, right? Banks are already upside down on treasuries, right? So what happens when they have to take, when a lot of those loans aren't big banks. Those are the regional and smaller banks, right? So, if they have to take billions in haircuts, what does that lead to? More banks being consolidated down in the United States, right? You already have 4,100 banks, or more banks going to get eaten up by the bigger banks, probably. And that's probably going to be more of a global problem too soon here as well. That's a utopia. The transition will be gradual. Yeah, I mean, if it can only go one of two ways, right? It's either going to happen all at once, which I think is the less likely thing to have happen, or it's going to happen slowly in chunks over time. That is the more logical way to look at this, rather than looking at it as a total crash, right? Because in order for you to do it, it would have to be a total crash, and a lot of people and a lot of businesses would be hurt by that crash. And DPIN will be the next big thing in crypto. Is the next big thing in crypto. We did talk about a couple DPIN projects, last month, and they did some decent returns for Cryptonaires members. Guys, we are doing a special type of not giveaway, but if you want access to all of these chats that I do 2 of these chats a week. Since chats, so there's about 8 to 10 a month. Normally you need to sign up to be a Cryptonaires member or super subscriber. We have a $15 now super subscriber where you get access to every Sensei chat. If you want to use it, by all means, we'd love to have you support the channel in any way, shape, or form. If not, no worries. I'll be doing, 1 or 2 of these things free every month to try to just come in here and connect with you guys. Good to see you, Cass. Big shout out to Cass. He does all the editing behind the scenes. He does a lot of hard work. G-Man says, as all the walled garden comes down and institutions feel more comfortable to bring their transactions to the XRP ledger, Japanese banks 2025 DTCC goes live. Well, so the DTCC is already live with Project Island, right? They do 100,000 transactions per day. Walled gardens down in stages. Yep. See, that's probably. Yeah, I wish more people cared though, JP. Hold on, give me a second. I need to blow my nose. Guys, we have a lot of really good information that goes through Cryptonaires, but I know a lot of people are on tight budgets right now. It's $50 a month, and you get access to 2 different Discords. Cryptonaires Discord, where we do a lot of this discussion and we bring up a lot of these projects. And you also get access to Carolina Keys TA Discord. It's really kind of getting you ready for the next bull run, and just there's more information in those 2 Discords than you can go through in a lifetime. And so if you want to catch up on information that you're missing or that you're needing to know if you're new to crypto, that's a really good place to really get started. Anyways, there's been many great calls, and there's been some things that we missed too, right? In crypto, guys, if you look at any new crypto project in the last 12 months, and you can like look at 100 crypto projects that have launched, right? A lot of them, 90% of them end up failing, right? And it's no rhyme or reason. Usually it's a smart contract problem or a team problem or a community problem. But you know, we are still in, it's all speculation that moves these markets, right? And so when we get into a place where we're finally in a utility market and all these assets are utility driven, that is really when we can be starting to be talking about higher prices, right? But talking about like $100 XRP price right now is just, there's not enough money to go into XRP for us to bring into you know, that type of price. Now, if Ripple IPOs, I don't know. I still don't think that takes like XRP to like $5 or $10, right? Because you would need billions and billions and billions of dollars to pump the price. And you would need a lot of, it would depend, right? If a lot of this XRP started to get bought up off exchanges, and exchanges started running low on XRP, then you would start seeing more of a demand for the token, and the token price would go up. Thank you, Ariana. I appreciate you, love. Envos and Dubs called in the last month. A lot of stuff's going on in there, man. A lot of stuff's been going on in Cryptonaires. What else do you guys want to talk about? I know we've been going about an hour and a half. It's been about an hour and a half. Any other questions though? Anyone else have any other questions? Or let me look at token metrics and see if they have I wish they have if they have a D-pin section. That'd be dope. The chatbot feature is kind of fun. Take a look here. Yeah, see, the market's more bearish. Bear versus bull, 14%. Anyone else worried about this FTX money coming, or this FTX crypto that's going to be hitting the market? I think that could definitely kind of affect the market in some ways. I do think there's going to be some institutions that are going to be here to kind of buy some of it up, though. Definitely. But I'm really looking forward to when the next market does return, because I have missed it so. Man, there's just so much data on here. It's kind of fun to kind of look at. I always like to go inside ratings here and kind of, let's see here. Hi-Fi Finance of 45%. BitGet token. Casper. Now Casper is one we called earlier too in the Cryptonaires Discord as well. I can't remember if that was a member or if that was Rayon or William. I can't remember who it was, but this did like a 10x from when we originally got into it. Chromia, Tron's on here. There's some interesting tokens that are listed on this list of, you come in here like Hi-Fi, you click on here. Any good updates coming from the BioFi trip? Oh, well, Marcus, I can tell you all kinds of stuff that happened on the trip if you really want to sit here and listen to it. The typhoon routed me. I couldn't go directly to Hong Kong, so I was stuck 2 days. I had to fly to Narita, Japan. After I got out of Japan, I hit Hong Kong. The day I hit Hong Kong, we took a train into China, and then we got settled. Next day, we took a flight to Shenzhen, and we toured a factory, a massive factory that produces phones. And I put a video together for the Cryptonaires members. They kind of saw, an interview I did with Brian Ma, the CEO, holding some of the Phoenix Ones. So right now, just to give you an update, there was some phones that were taken to South Africa that are being tested by MTN and a couple other companies. I think Vodafone. And of course, the South African government, so that it can be sold over the entire continent. I know that they as in Brian and Justin were asking me if I wanted to take a trip to the Middle East. I don't know when that would be or what that would look like. But we had some really good meetings, man. Ryan, we had some really good meetings, and this factory, in the one I'm speaking about in general, can facilitate just the one building of the factory could make 500,000 phones a month. And this factory, this complex has, a ton of different buildings. I couldn't count how many buildings it was. It was a massive facility. So, once it's going to take anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks for the phone to get certified. Once the phone gets certified, orders can be placed. Once orders are placed, it'll take maybe anywhere from 60 to 90 days. Well, I mean, it depends, right? Because you have to make the phones, right? So let's say you order, let's say 50,000 or 100,000 your first go. They make those phones within, let's just call it a month. Let's just call it the 1 month, right? They make the phones, and then I think they would pay to fly the phones there instead of ship them, because if you're putting them on a boat, it's going to take 3 to 4 times longer, maybe even more longer than that, unless you put them on you pallet them, you put them in a crate, and then you fly them there. So it depends how big the orders are going to be. But the trip was really good. We met with a gentleman who owns a satellite company, and he puts satellites into space like Elon Musk does. And we were talking to them for some different high level reasons as well too. So a lot of stuff happening with BioFi. Of course, I'm trying to get Brian to work on fixing some updates in their Discord, because it is very slow. It is kind of non-existent, and I was very kind of forward with him about what he needs to do to kind of fix that part. But the technology part, the phone part, all of that is working fantastically. And so as soon as I have some updates of what's going on in South Africa, I've been waiting to talk with Brian for a couple days now. They're here in South Africa, but he's about to fly back, I think tonight or tomorrow, back to the US, and I'll have some more updates, and I'll update next chance I get, Ryan, okay? Ask the bot what coins have the highest investor grade. There you go. Dogelon Mars, wasn't this like Phantom's on here, huh? Loop Ring, interesting. What else you asked? What else you asked it? I even asked it, build me a 100x portfolio with $10,000. Which to get the AI tool though, is it the highest version? Is it premium that you have to buy, or is it the second one? Oh, it's within 7 days. I have searched Tokenization database from the best critical returns. I don't know. It's fun to ask these. Second? Oh, okay. Gotcha. Render, I think, yeah, the renders are really good. Fed, yeah, we've talked about a lot of these tokens inside of Cryptonaires. Actually, I keep seeing self key to come up as well. Chromia, Lorex, hold on, guys. If you want to, I mean, information is kind of what you want to use. Hold on, let me just show you this real quick. Down here in the description, if you click on more, here's links, right? And then here's for Astrobit, here's Token Metrics. So you can actually go to Token Metrics here. And then they actually have this free account. The one that, if you want to use the AI, it looks like you need to use this middle option. I'm using this premium account that they give me for free. And then I make money off affiliate marketing. So if you come in here and you select this, I would make a percentage of that. To be completely and forward and honest with you, that's how that works. Okay. But it still has a lot of really good information. These are all the kind of different things that you get with the different models. So I just wanted to show you that in case you're interested, right? It's all about getting good information, and Tokenmetrics does have a lot of really good information. Now, anything else? Second, yours 1,000 fetch, Sun also. All right, guys. I'll probably end it there then if there's no other questions. I didn't even plan to go along an hour and a half, but you guys kind of kept me through it. 97 minutes. I appreciate all of you guys for being here, all of you guys for watching. I hope we added some value into your life today. I appreciate all the birthday love. I really do. And if I could be of any service, if anyone has any questions or anything else that I can do for you, I'm just always a text message or a reach out away. So I'm here for you. There's also the Sensei Telegram channel down here in the chat here. It's a free Telegram channel. If you want to join, we do have some conversations in there as well. And then there's also the Crypto Nerds Discord and some other links if you want to support the channel. All right, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And as always, it's always a pleasure to be here with you and spend time with you. And I love you all. So thank you for all your support. And even when I'm going through some of the hardest times in my life, I count on a lot of you guys to get me through. So I really appreciate you. And you know who you are, MMT, Llama, Ariana, Cass, JP, you guys, really helped me out. And there's, Malsaber and a ton of other amazing people in the Crypto Nerds Discord that kind of keep me going. And I really appreciate all of you guys. So thank you so much. And it's truly an honor. So thank you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. And have a fantastic day, guys. Have a fantastic